Hi Cancer, welcome to September. This is Teresa from Tarot by T. And before I start your reading, I want to call in some good energy. Okay, so this month we have a new moon in Virgo on the 6th, and then Mars moves into Libra on the 16th. And then we have a full moon in Pisces on the 20th, and Mercury goes retrograde on the 27th. And we will get into the astrology later. Let's see what the stars say, what the cards say about love and relationships for Cancer for September 2021. So what does Cancer need to know about September love and relationships, September 2021? What is coming up for Cancer in September 2021 in terms of love and relationships and anything that might be important? What does Cancer need to know? Okay, the Knight of Swords, the Temperance, the Sun, the Justice card, the Five of Swords, the Eight of Cups, the Hierophant, the Chariot, the Seven of Wands, the Page of Pentacles, and the Lovers. Okay, so the Knight of Swords energy, you might be feeling restless in September, like you want to jump into something. Knight of Swords energy is like, I just have to take action. I just got to do something. And you may not be thinking of all the consequences of those actions. So you want to make sure that you don't go to extremes, because you have the Temperance card here. This is about finding the middle ground, learning how to compromise, not going to extremes of activity, behavior, emotion. Because the Temperance, you might be dealing with someone that you have compatibility, but you're very different. And so to get along, you might need to compromise and learn how to see things from the other person's perspective and kind of meet in the middle. Now, the Knight of Swords energy could mean that you're dealing with someone who is you perceive to be selfish and only thinking about, like, they just do their own thing and they don't care how it affects other people. Because the Knight of Swords energy, or someone who's always wanting to fight. So that could be you or your partner. If you're in that fighting mode, you may want to think about compromise or try to see things from the other person's side. Try to say, okay, let's sit down and talk and let's try to accommodate each other. Let's create a win-win. So that's what might be happening at the beginning. In the past, you have the Sun. So the Sun is really a great card to have in a reading because it helps you to overcome any problems. In the past, you might have really enjoyed being with this person and you had some good times. The Sun is about connecting with someone that brings out your inner child. You feel like a kid again. You're having fun. And you have the Justice card in the recent past. So the Justice could mean that maybe a relationship is kind of a little bit shaky and you might be thinking, maybe there's some legal issues that have to be worked out. So justice could be legal problems, but it also could mean or you may have felt like there's an issue around fairness, trying to be fair, maybe feeling that someone was not fair with you or you were not fair, because I'm seeing the Five of Swords here and coming up. So there could be some injustice involved in this relationship where one of you may feel like you're not being treated fairly, or whatever you're receiving. If it's if you're in a divorce settlement, you don't think you're getting your fair share, or if there's some kind of decision that has to be made by another party. Usually the Justice can mean a decision is made in your favor, but because of this Five of Swords energy, I feel like the other person might be kind of a bully, or you might be dealing, because the Five of Swords energy is experiencing someone's hostility. someone who's like got a winner-take-all mentality. So for some of you, if you're breaking up with someone or thinking of leaving, you may be afraid that you're not going to get, there won't be an equal, a fair distribution or a fair outcome. Or you might be, because I'm seeing the Eight of Cups, which is about walking away from something that was once good but it's no longer serving you and moving on to something more fulfilling. But so if you're leaving someone, if you're deciding to leave a relationship, you may be experiencing someone's hostility. Or it could be also the Five of Swords energy sometimes comes up when you're in a toxic situation. And you may feel like, I don't think I can fix this. You have to kind of accept that this person or this situation is going to be what they are. This situation is not going to change. I either have to accept it and learn to live with it and work within it, within the limitations, or I need to cut my losses and move on. But be prepared. If you decide to move on, be prepared to experience hostility. Now, there's a Lover's card here. So there could be another relationship in the wings that you're wanting to pursue, and you might have to make a choice between two options, because Lovers always is a choice. It doesn't always have to be between two people. It could even be, do I stay or do I go? Do I choose this path or that path? And so there's going to be a choice coming up where you might be thinking about leaving something behind, leaving someone or something behind. And the choice is an important one because once you make that decision, you can't go back. It's like I'm crossing this bridge and then the bridge crumbles behind me. Like I made my decision, I took this path, and then the other path goes away. So you have to be really careful, do a lot of thinking about what you really want and what you're going to choose. That doesn't mean that you shouldn't walk away from a toxic situation. It just means just make sure that, you will not, just give it a lot of thought. It's not like, should I have chocolate or vanilla? It's something that's life-changing. So then you have the Hierophant here in your negative thinking sector. So part of you really want to do the right thing. But you may have a tendency to be a little conservative, or you might be dealing with someone who's conservative or stubborn. Sometimes the Hierophant can represent a Taurus person. And so maybe you're worried about what people are going to think, if you decide to leave a relationship, or if you decide to move on to something else, you don't want anyone to cast blame on you for your decision. You want to do what people will accept, what's acceptable, what's right. So you might be being a little conservative, or trying to think about, as what I'm doing the right thing. Am I doing the right thing? You have the Chariot here in your environment. That's a card it could be a card of travel or movement. But it's also a card of discipline and focus. So it's possible that you've been allowing yourself to be pulled in too many directions. And you're like, I don't even know what I want. Or I don't even have a focus. I don't even, I'm just being led. I'm just like, sometimes I'm here, sometimes I'm there, So the Chariot represents victory with discipline and focus. So you have to really know what you want this month. I feel like you're going to have to make some choices and make some decisions. And if you know exactly what you want, you can succeed, but you're also going to have to let some things go, because the Chariot usually comes up when you have too many irons in the fire. And you're not getting anywhere because you're like doing a little of this, a little of that. So in a relationship situation, maybe you're dating and, you're not really committed to anyone in particular. And so you have to make that decision. Who do I want to commit to? What relationship do I want to focus on and make it work? Because if I keep spreading my energy too thin, no relationship, all of my relationships will suffer. So it's a time of really thinking about, what do I want? Don't just jump into something. Like sometimes, if you're going through a difficult period in a relationship, you may think, I just need to get out of here. I just need to do something because you're frustrated. So don't just do something recklessly without giving it a lot of thought, without at least having that conversation or trying to fix it. And then if you realize, okay, I can't fix this, then, okay, make your decision. but don't do it impulsively. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. So in your wish fulfillment sector, you have the Seven of Wands. The Seven of Wands is about overcoming obstacles and being on top of things, but it's also about setting boundaries. So it's possible that you need to set boundaries in a relationship, and stand up for what you believe in, what you think is right, not letting people take advantage of you. It's also if there's a sense of competition in a relationship, like you against other people, maybe you're dating someone who's got other people that they're dating, you have the upper hand. So you're the favored one. And this Chariot, it could represent your partner too. Maybe the partner has a lot of options, but you're the favored one, but you may have to set some boundaries like, hey, what are you doing? It's me or, I want a commitment. I want a one-on-one, and find out what they want. And if they don't want the same thing, you might have to walk away. Then you have the Page of Pentacles. This is a card of being open to the new. It's the student card. So you could have met someone recently that is, you might be starting and connecting with someone new this month, because the pages are usually the early stages of a relationship. And this person could be more down to earth, not so volatile. Like if this Knight of Swords represents a partner, it could be someone that you're always fighting with. Like they're always looking for a fight. They're always they got to be right. Or, you say something and they're like on you, attacking you. The Page of Pentacles, the Pentacles energy is very calm. Could be an earth sign, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. But it's someone that may not be as exciting as the Knight energy, because the Knight is very volatile, very active. This person's more like laid back, let's just take our time. So for those of you who are moving to a new relationship, it could be a little bit calmer, a little different. But someone that you really enjoy. I feel like that you have a choice to make this month between staying and making something work or walking away to something new. And it could also mean the page is also the student card, so you might be thinking, well, maybe I should, like if it's a job situation that you want to walk away from, maybe you feel like, well, I need more training or I need more skills, or I want to learn something new because I'm tired of what I'm doing. So that could be in the works too. But as long as you really focus on what you really want, what brings you joy, and work toward that, and get rid of all the distractions. If something's distracting you from your goal, let it go. Let go. Let go anything that's toxic, anything that's hostile, that's not supporting you, that's not making you feel like your best self. If a relationship is tearing you down, if you're with someone who's very verbally abusive, you might be thinking about walking away to someone who's kinder and gentler. So let's see. We have the new moon in Virgo. And that's happening in your third house. That's the house of siblings, friends, your local environment, communication. And Mars is there too. So you might be pretty active, running around town. And you could have to have some communication with a sibling. You might have a new beginning coming out of that. And this new moon is trining Uranus in Taurus. So you have the new moon, the sun and moon at 14 degrees Virgo in the third house, and it's trining Uranus in your 11th house. The 11th house is the house of friendship. So you may decide, and Mars being in the third house, it gives you courage. So you may get the courage to communicate with someone, a friend, maybe that you've lost contact with, or someone that you want to connect with. So either you're sending a message or receiving a message. Because with Uranus, everything is like surprise. It's kind of surprising, like it's unexpected. So there could be some unexpected developments in a friendship this month that where you could have a new beginning in some way. You still have Pluto. Pluto's been in your 7th house since 2008. So it's been transforming your relationships big time. Breaking down, rebuilding, some relationships have died out, new relationships have come in. And right now, Pluto and Venus are Venus is in your 4th house. So you could be And Mercury's also in your 4th house. So you could be doing a lot of, like maybe trying to fix up your house, decorating it, making it more like you. And if you're with a partner, if you're living with someone, and Pluto is squaring Venus, you may have different ideas on how the house should be set up. And so there could be some power struggles around home and family and relationship. Or maybe, your family, your partner doesn't like your family or something like that. Or your family doesn't like your partner. Or your commitment to family is interfering with your love life or relationship, vice versa. Now, Mercury is trining Jupiter. So this is really good for, and Jupiter's in your 8th house. Jupiter is bringing in money in the 8th house. But it's not money that you earn. It's like your partner's money. So if you're in a partnership, your partner could get a new job that brings in more income. Or you could meet someone that's, there could be some abundance coming in. Or the Jupiter also can bring in inheritance, money from a bank loan, or even gambling, lotto. Because Jupiter is luck and chance, optimism. So if you've ever thought about, I wouldn't, blow everything on something, but now's a good time to buy a lotto ticket if you, or just take a chance. And the 8th house is not only money that you receive from others and the support you receive from others, it's also the house of intimacy and confronting your demons. So it's a good time to really think about what you're doing. What am I doing? Am I afraid of intimacy? Am I afraid of connecting with someone? Or you might be attracting someone that you could really have a connection with, but it scares you on some level. You have Chiron in the 10th house, and it's sextile Saturn in the 8th. So Saturn in the 8th is giving you a hard time. Like if you're trying to get money or funding or anything, there's so many rules and regulations, you're like frustrated. It's just frustrating you. Like there's too much paperwork, too many blocks, too many hurdles to jump across. And you may feel like authority figures are blocking you or standing in the way of your success. You have some wounds to heal around your status in the world, because the 10th house is the house of your public life. So there might be some healing that needs to be done. But Mercury trine Saturn. Mercury is in your 4th house. It's trining Saturn. So whatever you're signing, if you're trying to get a loan or something like that, or some kind of funding, it's going to be in place for a long time. So look at all contracts, like especially if you're purchasing a home, because Mercury's in the 4th house. If you're thinking about purchasing new property or committing to anything, whatever you're committing to, it will be in place for a long time. And a trine is usually a good aspect. So Saturn is giving you support, that's going to last a long time. It's a favorable aspect. Whatever you're putting in place, it will be solid, it will be stable. So, but just make sure that that's what you want. Make sure that you're not just reacting, recklessly. Make sure that you've given it a lot of thought and you're sure, like, this is what I want to do. And then, great. Mars is trining Pluto. You have Mars in the 3rd house and trining Pluto in the 7th. So you could be feeling very passionate about a relationship or about moving forward with something. Mars is ambition, energy, and trining Pluto, it's like there could be a powerful relationship or a powerful connection coming in, and maybe even very strong sexual feelings too, because Mars rules sex, passion, energy, someone that really transforms. You could be meeting someone that really, if you're not in a relationship or if you're attracting a new relationship, it could be someone that can really transform your life in some way. Very passionate connection. And you're ready to take action. Mars trine Pluto, it's like, I'm going to do it, come hell or high water. So then we have Mars moving into Libra, and that will be in your 4th house, and that's on the 16th. And then we have the full moon in Pisces, which is in the 9th house and the 3rd house. So something is completing around maybe an educational project or a marketing project, communication project, and if there's anything, because these are the communication houses, the 3rd house. The moon is in the 9th house, the sun is in the 3rd house. So, and the moon is conjunct Neptune. So you could be feeling very intuitive around this time, around this full moon. Like, trust your intuition. if you feel, you could be actually, channeling, you're just downloading information. You're just getting, if you're getting an intuitive leaning to call someone or contact someone, I would do it. Or someone might just contact you. I mean, because this communication is on fire. Or you may feel like traveling or going back to school or something. Either teaching or learning. That's all ninth house stuff. So something, you might be completing some kind of training program, or you might be coming back from a trip or some long distance journey. You might be maybe resolving some issue around siblings. Let's see, what else? And the moon is also, this full moon is also, the moon is also opposing Mars in the 4th house. So with Mars in the 4th house, now that Mars moved into Libra, you're going to be really active around the home. So I don't know if you could be like renovating or fixing things, or if you're moving, you could be, it's just all your energy is at the home. Like maybe you're trying to create home and family. So whether you're moving out or moving in, or somebody's moving out or somebody's moving in, or you're fixing up the house, all those things could be happening now. Now, the good thing about this full moon is Mars is forming a trine. Because Mars is somehow connected to the moon, it's also bringing in this grand air trine. So Mars is trining Saturn. And Saturn is in your 8th house, and also it's trining the North Node in the 12th. So I feel like you're ending, when things are coming through the 12th house represents an ending of a cycle. So you could be ending something and then coming to terms with some kind of psychological block, or things that are hidden are coming to the surface. So if there was something that you weren't aware of, it may be revealed right now. But usually the grand trine is a positive thing. So when Mars trines Saturn, Saturn and Mars can be difficult when they're in a difficult aspect, but when they're in a trine aspect, it gives you energy to achieve something, and it gives you stability and longevity. So if you're connecting with someone, or you're signing some kind of contract for money, because the 8th house is either getting money from or connecting with someone on a very intimate level, it could be in place for a long time. There could be a strong physical connection. And with Saturn there could be even an age difference between you. Let's see, Mercury's trine Jupiter. Mercury, again, it's really important to communicate, to make sure if you're signing any contracts and it has to do with money, getting a loan or whatever, or signing a contract with a contractor, fixing your house, just make sure you read all the details, especially because Mercury's going to go retrograde at the end of the month. And you want to make sure, when Mercury's retrograde, it's really good to go and do renovations and redo things, but make sure that you read the fine print. If you're working with somebody new, there could be some things that go haywire, So you want to make sure that if you're connecting with someone, if you're hiring someone that you worked with in the past and you're returning to something from the past, that's better under a Mercury retrograde energy. Venus is in your 5th house, and it's opposing Uranus in the 10th. So there could be some unexpected developments for love and romance. Uranus in the 11th, or did I say 10th? I meant 11th. So Venus in the 5th opposing Uranus in the 11th. A friendship could turn to love suddenly. You suddenly realize you have feelings for someone. Or there could be some unexpected developments around the groups that you belong to, the friends you belong to. You could get involved in some type of creative project with friends, with a group of friends. 5th house is also children. There could be unexpected developments around children. And, the 5th house is also pleasure, sex, like just going out and having a good time. So if someone new is coming into your life, whether it's just a relationship or a friendship, they're going to bring a lot of joy to your life. You have an opportunity to walk away from something that was toxic and move into something that's a lot more fun and a lot more stable. So that's my forecast for September, Cancer. I hope you enjoyed this reading. If you did, click on the like button. Click on the subscribe button. Leave a comment. Let me know if this resonated with you. If you'd like a private reading, click on the link in the description box. It'll take you to my website and you can book a reading. In the meantime, I just want to say thank you for supporting this channel. Thank you for liking, subscribing, ordering readings. If you're new, welcome. I wish you a wonderful September. Don't stay stuck in a situation that's not bringing you joy. Don't let anyone abuse you. Don't be afraid to, move on if you're not really happy. And claim your joy. But make your decision, There could be a strong love attraction coming if you're not in a relationship, or if you're leaving a relationship and looking for somebody new. So that's my forecast for September. Have a wonderful September, and I'll talk to you again next month. Okay, bye now.